Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League. We're back for our final competition of the season, and that means it is the championship competition. Blood Bowl number 4 starting tonight. The biggest Blood Bowl we have had ever in the league. Iron Cynic, welcome to the stream. That's right, we are back. We are going to start with our final competition to crown a champion for this season. We are in round 1 tonight. The two teams tonight need to win 7 games in a row to be declared season champion. Can they pull it off? I hope so. I love rooting for the underdog. Tonight, we are going to have Stairway to Nuffle versus the Harlequins B.B.F.C, El Marino versus BB Nut, Underworld Denizens versus Undead. Let's take a look at this bracket before we take a look at these two teams. Here we are in round number 1. 11 teams qualifying this season for the Blood Bowl. We're starting here in the 5th place bracket. Stairway to Nuffle versus Harlequins B.B.F.C. The winner tonight will advance to the 3rd place bracket, where they will duke it out, yeah, with a Kind Sirs, Kind Peacocks. They're an Imperial Nobility team here in round 2. A little bit of unfortunate news for this competition. Richard Cranium's Dwarfen team, I Want to Be Like Doug, with the Death Roller we all know and love, unfortunately will not be participating in this competition. Richard Cranium couldn't make it due to some last-minute technical issues. So Alphitis Australis will earn a bye in round 2. That is Eric's Wood Elf team. They'll advance into round 3. And then in the runners-up bracket, round 4 has Chimes Never Gonna facing off against Dead Fred's Real American Heroes. That's an Orc team versus a Dark Elf team. And then S. Beaver's The Dead Poets will face the 3rd place bracket winner, The Dead Poets, an Undead team. Welcome to the stream, Cobblestore BB. And then finally, in our winners bracket in the semifinals, qualifying all the way up here on the bracket, we've got the Cobblestore BBs praying to Nuffle. Thank you very much for the points. All the way in the semifinals, these teams just have to win 2 games to be declared the champion. We have the current league champion, Doug the Minotaur, and his White Skull Windbreakers. That's an Orc team. They'll be facing off against previous league champion Nick Satan and Cenozoic Park. That's a Lizard team. Von Rue, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome to the stream. Very kind of you. Welcome, welcome. And then, of course, our final team qualifying in the semifinals will be Force of Flames, coached by JD Whitey, a Wood Elf team. They'll be facing the winner of the runners-up bracket. A little bit of a change here in the Blood Bowl 4. Normally, it's just single elimination. Once you lose, you're out. But in this upper bracket for the championship, we like to have delineated 1st through 4th place. So the losers of the semifinals will drop down in that consolation bracket there to determine who will be 3rd place and who will be 4th place. Mr. Blitzkrieg 978, welcome to the stream. All right, our first team up tonight, the home team, LD Marino's Stairway to Nuffle. They're coming in a TV of 1,205,000 gold. 15 players on this roster. He has 2 real key players to watch out for on this roster. Of course, the Rad Ogre, whole lot of love. Number 1 here, he has a Skaven Blitzer, and then the second key player to watch out for is, of course, Ramble on the Gutter Runner, number 3. We'll talk about these 2 players in just a minute. 3 Clan Rats, Mr. Blitzkrieg, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. I hope we have a fantastic game tonight. And we've got many, many more games to come in this Blood Bowl. I'm looking forward to it. 3 Clan Rats. He has a Thrower. He has a few Gobbos and a whole bunch of Snotlings. 1 Apothecary. 5 Dedicated Fans. 3 rerolls. He's going to be up against this Undead team. The Harlequins B.B.F.C, coached by BB Nut. They're coming in a TV of 1,295,000 gold. 13 players on this roster. 3 of the 4 Ghoul Runners, both Mummies, 2 Blitzers, and a whole bunch of Zombos. 5 Dedicated Fans, 3 rerolls for this team as well. How are these 2 teams going to play tonight? Let's talk about the visiting team first, the Harlequins B.B.F.C. They've really got one job tonight. They are the bashy team. They're up against this Underworld team. Not a lot of AV on the pitch on the Underworld team. Those Snotlings, of course, are very, very frail and brittle. The Gobos as well. There's some Skaven players. Lots of players that are easy to remove. He has the 2 mummies. They have Mighty Blow and Guard. He has the 2 White Blitzers who have Block and Guard, one of which has Tackle as well. That Guard means he's going to be getting those 2 dies, those 3 die blocks with the mummies even, with Mighty Blow, and he's going to be looking to just remove players turn after turn after turn. A couple of players with Tackle as well can make that a little bit easier with all the dodge on the roster. He does have these 2 Ghoul Runners. His ball carrier is going to be number 1, no doubt, because he has all these defensive skills. He has Fend, he has Wrestle, and then of course, being this defensive player, he's picked up Kick on this player as well. Kick's going to be a great skill tonight for the Harlequins. Kick means that when you kick, that deviation, that D6 roll when you kick is going to be divided by 2, rounded down. That makes it very, very accurate. For example, against this very frail team, maybe on defense he kicks this ball shallow because he wants to engage the Underworld team early and start removing players as soon as possible. His job tonight, bash. Bash, bash, bash. If he does that, I think he comes out on top. The Underworld team has a little bit more of an uphill battle, I think. We saw El Nubarino start the season with this Underworld team, pivoted to a Necro team after the nerf. The nerf, of course, the infamous nerf, where the Snotlings lost Swarming. Stairway to Nuffle started off with the Swarming skill, and then lost it mid-season. That's a huge roadblock when you've built this team around such a skill. I think it was a necessary nerf, but unfortunate for Underworld players in the middle of the season. So now El Nubarino, not qualifying with the Necro team, has qualified with this Underworld team and now needs to kind of get back into the ball game and figure out what to do with this team now that he doesn't have Swarming on those Snotlings. He has the Mutant Rat Ogre. The Rat Ogre is great in my opinion. This guy's going to murder people. He has Frenzy, of course, and Mighty Blow. He does have Ramble On as well. Ramble On, keep an eye out for this player. This is an MA9 player, an Adge 1 player, a Blodger, 2 heads, big hand, and of course, why not put Sure Feet on that as well? A very, very important player. This player will just pick up the ball wherever it is and run towards that end zone. And that means that Ramble On is going to have a massive, gigantic, blinking target on his back. So El Nubarino really needs to keep Ramble On super safe in this game, and that means either keeping him behind a protective screen, or if he's going to break free, make sure you get in that end zone. Otherwise, with such a high dollar player and low AV, boy, oh boy, is he going to be a target. Now, how is El Nubarino going to play this team without Swarming? I think he's got 1 of 2 options. He knows he's up against this Undead team that is going to be the bashy team against him. I don't know if he necessarily wants to go toe-to-toe with that. He could play the traditional route, try to play this as a kill team. He's only getting 90k in petty cash, and that means he can't really pick up the skills I think that he needs to play sort of the fouling game. He would only be able to get 1 bribe out of this. He could get a biased referee if he wants for 80k. The other route to go is to just play this as an Adge team, but if he does that, it's Ramble On's game. Ramble On is the key player for this team, and if he loses Ramble On, that strategy I think is going to collapse. If he plays that Adge game, maybe he goes in instead on Kegs. We'll see if he drops a player to get over that 100k mark. If he goes over that 100k mark, he has some more options for his inducements. But I do think it's an uphill battle here for El Nubarino, but these are 2 great coaches. El Nubarino, no stranger to the Blood Bowl, has been in the Blood Bowl 3 of 4 times. Has, a fantastic coach, has proven himself again and again and again. BB Nut has come in here in Season 4 and shown just how good of a coach he is as well. It's going to be an exciting match. It's going to be a bloody match. We'll see who comes out on top. Games are not won and lost on your roster alone. So even though I'm sitting here talking about how El Nubarino is going to have a hard time of it against this Undead team, strategy and tactics, of course, a big part of this game. There's so much agency in this game that if El Nubarino has some tactics up his sleeve, maybe he comes out on top tonight. Again, no ties, right? Now that we're in the single elimination bracket, there can be no ties. So another thing for these two coaches to watch out for is overtime. If they go into overtime, they're not getting their rerolls back. They really need to factor this in. They're not going to get their bonus time back either. So if it looks like it might threaten to go to overtime, then maybe you're not rerolling something that you would have rerolled unless it absolutely guarantees something very, very important that you're going to pick up. El Numerino did drop a player, or boy, who did he drop? He's got 155K in petty cash here. So now he has options. So, yeah. So now he's got some star player options here. He's picking up Bomber Dribble Snot. So this is our favorite bombardier. Oh, what? He dropped Ramble On. Wow! 2 Kings, Bomber dribbles out. Bomber, of course, a secret weapon. Bomber is going to get 1 drive on the pitch unless he can successfully argue the call. Here's the coin toss. Harlequins B.B.F.C. are going to win this coin toss. They're going to choose to receive and get the momentum started in this game. Stairway to Nuffle is going to set up on defense first. Holy smokes! Lost the one player we've been talking about for 10 minutes. All right, we'll see what El Numerino has up his sleeve here. Stairway to Nuffle setting up in an anchor formation to start this game. They have that very important Rat Ogre in that middle linebacker position. Wants to keep him mobile. All right, there's the defense. Now the offense for the Harlequins. Boy, oh boy, what a curveball. Iron Cynic asks, no Bomber on defense? Seems not. Seems not. He's saving Bomber Dribble Snot, the star player, wearing number 15 for this afternoon's matchup. Two mummies on the right side of the line, that right guard and right tackle position. 2 in the left wide zone, 2 in the right. That's the maximum you can have in either of these wide zones. Here's the kick. Naturally, Evil Eye, the number 1 ghoul runner, that defensive ghoul runner we talked about, is back to receive. Here's the kick. Cheery fans, but it's a draw. So we're going to get this game started with the ball kicked into the hands of the number 6 blitzer right on the line. The center carrying the ball. 2 knockdowns on the line. One's a stun. Gets a push on the left defensive end. So Volkmar, number 6 here, the white blitzer, not the worst ball carrier in the world, despite being on the line. Lots and lots of guard around. Takes a mark on the right outer linebacker here. Spends the reroll with the mummy. Wants to get the knockdown here. 7+ breaks armor. There it is. Well done. 1-man player advantage for the Harlequins. Get used to that. Looks like Stairway to Nuffle might be contemplating using the Oppo here in turn 1. No Oppo spent. Player advantage remains for the Harlequins. There it is, turn 1, back to Stairway to Nuffle now. 1 removal, 1 Sun player on the line. They're going to stand up. I can't quit you, baby. The right defensive end, the number 8 Goblin. El Nubarino, a very contemplative coach. Really takes his time in turns, plays it more like a general. Really tries to plan out the move ahead of time and then executes on it in the second half of the turn. B.B.F.C says I forgot to name the players. No worries. No worries. I accounted for that in my graphics. No worries. What I didn't account for was Ramble On being gone. That makes that graphic useless. Good dodge on the left side of the line here. Here's the blitz with the Rat Ogre. Gets a push out of this with a frenzy follow-up, going after the ball carrier. 2-die follow-up is another push. Is he going to risk the reroll with Loner? Does have 4 rerolls to spend. Decides not to. He'll take the push instead. Good blitz attempt on the ball carrier. Didn't work out. Stairway to Nuffle now on the bonus clock. You get 7 minutes 30 seconds of bonus time. 2 minutes on the clock every single turn. If you run out of that time, you can dip into that bonus clock. And that is for the entire duration of the game. And as we mentioned in the pregame, that also accounts for overtime. So if you have, say, 30 seconds left on the clock at the end of turn 16 and you're going into overtime, you still only have 30 seconds left for another 8 turns. Grave mistake. Welcome to the stream. Grave mistake says, BB.F, I just got out of bed for this match. You better win. The number 2 blitzer, Heartbreaker, moving up to the line in the right wide zone. Shifting the number 6 Clan Rat to the right a little bit. He's in the secondary. Turn 2, 3-die block to get started on number 8. Gets a push out of this. No block on the mummies. 3-die block over on the left side of the line. Gets a knockdown here. 6+ is going to break armor. Nope. Nope, he doesn't have tackle. Now a 3-die block against number 8. This will be a push as well. Finally, a 2-die block on the Rat Ogre. Gets a POW out of this. 9+ breaks. Oh! Huge injury here in round 2. The Oppo gets spent. And he'll stay alive. Whole lot of love. Gonna stay in the game. Wow. Got the POW on that Rat Ogre. Got the injury as well. Oppo gets spent. I think that was a good call. But now Stairway to Nuffle without the 2 players that we talked about in the pregame. Rat Ogre will come back in drive 2 of this game. 2-2 now for Stairway to Nuffle. So, I am from Maryland in the U.S., and Maryland, when it comes to food, we're known for 2 things, I think. Well, maybe 3 things. Crabs, the seasoning we put on crabs called Old Bay, and a dessert called Smith Island cake. Smith Island cake is just straight up plain yellow cake, cut into 10 layers, and chocolate icing. So we went to a new restaurant last night, and they had Smith Island cake on the menu. Now, a lot of places try to like gussy up the Smith Island cake with like nonsense like peanut butter or whatever. And on the menu, it was just normal Smith Island cake. I was very, very excited. I saved room for a piece of Smith Island cake. We get the dessert menu, and it has peanut butter in it. Don't mess up Smith Island cake. So I was very disappointed. So I ordered a Smith Island cake from a local seafood joint. Blitz on number 3 is a push here with Heartbreaker. Mr. Blitzkrieg says, I think this drive might already be done. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely in a little bit of a pickle here. "13 seconds left on the clock. That'll be the turn. Turn 3 now for the Harlequins. Gets the knockdown on the line. 3-die block with the number 4 Mummy. We'll get a knockdown here as well. Or, sorry, gets a push. Because he has dodge. That's how dodge works. And now gets the 2-die block on the number 2 Skaven Blitzer. Gets a push out of it. Repositions the ball carrier back to the 6. Gets the POW on number 11 here. Looking for a 6+. He's got it. Gets a KO. Well done. Hey, Jax the Riot. Welcome to the stream. We're rooting for BB Nut to win this game. Remember, whoever wins tonight has 6 more games that they need to win back to back to back to back to back in order to be this season's champion. Turn 3 now, back to Stairway to Nuffle. 4 rerolls still remaining. Elder Marino might try to think about trying to force some of these rerolls on this undead team to be spent. Maybe taking a cheeky mark here or there where BB Nut is going to be forced to roll some dice that he doesn't want to roll. Once he's down to no rerolls, odds change significantly on all of his actions. BB Nut says, this is the I will beat JD Whitey revenge tour. Just 5 more games. Failed dodge will be a turnover. Turn 4 now for the Harlequins. 3-die block with number 4. Gets a push out of it. Ball still hasn't crossed the line of scrimmage. Looks like it may on this turn. Zombo Blitz fails the rush on the Blitz. That's one of those rerolls spent. Gets the knockdown here. Well done. Harlequins down to 1 reroll for the half, and now that ball crosses the line of scrimmage on the opposing 2-yard line now. Sets up his cage. Three-die block with number 11 will be a push. Still has a 2. Yeah, it still has a 2-die with number 5, and again a push on the number 2 Skaven Blitzer. Needs to be a little careful here. He's still close enough to this cage. These mummies only have an MA of 3. The Splitzer, of course, has an MA of 7. If he can break free, the mummy might find itself out of position, but it's still close enough to this cage where it's in good shape. Final turn of the first quarter now. Coming up, Stairway to Nuffle. They did start on defense. 0-0 game. They lost their Rat Ogre, but they will come back and drive too. They lost their Clan Rat number 4 here, Black Dog, permanently. At least for this game. 2 die uphill blitz to start with will be a push unless he risks the reroll. He is going to spend the reroll, and it will remain a push. Wow. Wow. Courageous play here with number 9. Drive will stay alive. I don't know if he wants to follow up here. We'll see if he does. Yeah, he says, no thank you. I want no part of these guys. 44 seconds left in quarter number 1. Getting the assist for the 2-die block with number 7. Gets a push out of this. Blood Bowl can very much be a game of chucking your dice, seeing what happens, and then responding to that, right? A lot of players, especially new players, and these two coaches are by no means new players, but a lot of players will really set up their plays to rely on a die roll. They'll say, you know what? My odds on this die roll are in my favor. I need it to work, so I'll just assume it will. And then they have no recourse, no contingency for when it fails. You'll see these coaches, every coach in this competition recognizes that dice fail, right? And so if they do, they have a contingency. So you can see, for example, here, Stairway to Nuffle getting those pushes means he says, all right, I can't get too aggressive. He's still on his feet. He's the bashier team. I need to be a little more cautious. I'm going to keep back a little bit. I'm going to try to screen him out as best as I can. You can see him taking the dodges for these secondary players here. And we'll try again on next turn. Turn 5 now. Second quarter begins for the Harlequins. They've been pushed back across the line of scrimmage. Looks like they might be trying to move this ball to the right. Yep, setting up that cage on the opposing 10. Blitz with the ball carrier. 3-die blitz. Gets a POW. Great setup here for the 3-die. Gets the knockdown. No armor break, though. Now a 2-die against number 6 will be a POW. 8+ breaks armor. Took the both down. Just to show off. 2-die block on number 10 gets a POW out of this as well. Here's an armor break. Gets a KO. 3-man player advantage now. 4-man player advantage for the Harlequins B.B.F.C. Turn 5 for Stairway to Nuffle. Now they just need to be thinking about, if I can't stop this score, can I keep players alive? He doesn't have kegs. I don't think he has kegs. Even if he lets this TD go, he still might be in good shape for overtime. Another option he has for him is if he could force this score early, maybe force the score in the next turn, maybe the next 2 turns, Stairway to Nuffle could get on the board this half, tie it up 1-1, and then they'd be playing to win 2-1 in the second half. BB Nut says 2 kegs. Thank you very much. Gets the POW on Evil Eye here. Really looking for a 9+. Doesn't get it. These zombies can be so difficult, right? On paper, they look not great, right? MA4 is not fast. Strength 3 is fine. Edge 4 is fine. AV 9 is 5. Those are all perfectly average. No skills to speak of, except of course regen, and they're 40k. So you have a very cheap player whose job is to just take marks and get punched. And if they take a Kaz, there's a 50% chance they don't. I think they're very, very good. I love zombies, and every so often, you might even get a free one. So I think they're not bad linemen at all. They're certainly not say Wood Elf linemen who are, just fantastic positionals in and of their own right, but they're also very expensive. Mr. Blitzkrieg with trying to make a case for skeletons. I don't think I've ever in my life had a skeleton on an undead team. Skeletons trade a point of armor for a point of MA on an undead team. Cobblestorm says zombies are the best chaff piece in the game. I agree. All right, trying to set up this defense to try to get in front of the ball. Ball carrier currently has an MA of 6. Currently is in scoring position, but the number 3 ghoul runner could accept a handoff here to score. It's a little early to do so, though. Oh, that's right. They do have thick skull. You're absolutely right. Zombies have thick skull. Failed dodge into a stun, and that'll be a turnover on the left side of the line. Turn 6 now for the Harlequins. First order of business is to make sure these these mummies are doing work. They're very slow, getting them into position, taking those marks. Even if it's not a block, good call. He's opening up a hole here. So now he can shift this way. If he can try to screen out the defensive contingent over here, he'll be in real good shape. 3-die blitz. Gets the knockdown with the ball carrier. Will shift laterally to the left. Stays on the 12-yard line here. Has set up the tight 4-point cage. Gets an assist on number 5 for the knockdown. Breaks armor. It's a stun. Turn 6 now for Stairway to Nuffle. Harlequins just trying to bide their time here. They definitely want to score on turn 8 because there's still going to be at least one turn given back to the defense. If they score on turn 7, that's 2 turns, and that would be plenty of turns for this defense to try to score. Good dodge by Trampled Underfoot to take a mark on the front left corner of the cage. Two-die blitz gets a pal here on number 1. No armor break, though. Mr. Blitzkrieg says, I think 1 turn for Underworld is more than enough to score. 50 seconds on the clock here for Stairway to Nuffle. They're keeping that number 3 gutter runner in the backfield. This is the rookie that is replaced. Yeah, this is the rookie that replaced the original Ramble On. This is the live version. The dodges over on the right side by the number 8 Goblin. They are, of course, stunty. Turn 7 now for the Harlequins. 2 turns left in this half. Harlequins with the ball on the opposing 12-yard line. They've had a commanding first half so far. Take a mark on number 8. Looks like they're going to shift this ball back to the right. Sky Blitz. Gets the pal, looking for an 8+. Now the ball on the opposing 18-yard line, this time in the right wide zone, zigzagging down the pitch. Cool runner is such an important piece on an undead team. This is where your speed is. You can field 4 of them. BB Nut has 3. They have an MA of 7. In my opinion, really critical for an undead team to shine. Penultimate turn of the half for Stairway to Nuffle. Turn 7. El Marino undoubtedly looking to see if tactically he's got any shot at stopping this touchdown. Of course, anything is possible. You can get super duper risky and just start taking dodges and uphill blocks. In the game of Blood Bowl, any roll of a natural 6 succeeds and a natural 1 fails. So 6 has happened. Getting 2 players in front of this cage. So the reason he's positioned this way is he's got tackle zones here, he's got tackle zones here. So he's protected this width of the pitch. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a second player yet anyway here. Right? There it is. Now he's got the columns. So now not only has he protected this bit of the pitch, but he's protected from a blitz. The problem, of course, is that he's down a number of players, and so the ball carrier could very well just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and score. There is 1 player in the way, but he could certainly be blocked aside. All right, so setting up columns here. Doesn't have, I don't think he's got another player that can get behind number 6. Fails the dodge with number 5. Wow, rolling all the dice. Four minutes, 52 seconds left on the bonus clock for Stairway to Nuffle. Turn 8 now for the Harlequins. This is their turn to score. The target's going to be number 6. This positioning here means it'll be difficult to get the assist here. So 1, 2, 3. He could do well. All right, it is going to be the rush blitz. And failed the rush. 1 reroll left. Got through the launch. Double skulls. No rerolls left. Holy moly. So Stairway to Nuffle pulls it off with this positioning here. BB Nut went for the rush blitz with the mummy. Failed the rush, didn't have the reroll for the blitz, rolled double skulls. And this at half will end 0-0, so Stairway to Nuffle hangs on. Mr. Blitzkrieg says Nuffle does its thing. Nuffle will be Nuffle. So the positioning of the player here, he's setting up for a foul. Positioning of the player here forced a decision between whether it was the rush blitz with the mummy or the 2-die with block. Went for the foul, didn't get anything out of it, argues the call, but it's going to get called off for his audacity. He gets sent off the pitch. And that'll be the half. 0-0 the score. Stairway to Nuffle will be on offense to start the second half of this game. Oh, what a first half that was. My goodness. What a way to get this championship started. 8 turns now left in regulation in this game. The Harlequins are going to be on defense. They are certainly not out of this game. They can still be very aggressive. They can still be very bashy and try to get this ball out of the hands of Stairway to Nuffle. They've just got to change up their tactics a little bit here because they've got to be mindful of the speed advantage on these Skaven players for Stairway to Nuffle. But otherwise, they can absolutely recover this ball and score. And if not, so long as they stop the score, we're going to overtime. Cobblestorm says Dubskull is for the revenge for BB Nut beating that 900% failure rate. That's right. That's right. If you've ever picked up a rule of the rule book of Blood Bowl, and you've looked into it, rushes fail on a 1. You roll a d6, they fail on a 1. And if you've done the math, I went to school for math, all right? And I know a 1 in 6 fails 900% of the time. Offset defense here for the undead team. Stairway to Nuffle to set up their offense now. Defensive line over on the right side of the pitch. If you're new to the game of Blood Bowl, when you set up your team, you must put at least 3 players in one of these 7 spaces here. You can put a maximum of 2 players in these rectangles here called the wide zones. My rectangles are terrible. Everything else is fair game. You'll notice that BB Nut has a kicker right here. The kicker can't go in any of these places we just described if you want to use the kick skill. So they can't go on the line, they can't go in the wide zones. So he set up the kicker here so he can use that kick skill. We'll see if BB Nut tries to kick this ball shallow or not. Back to 11v11 on the pitch. 15 players on the roster for Stairway to Nuffle. Rat Ogre back on the pitch as well. El Nugrino setting up 2 in the left wide zone. He's offsetting his offensive line as well. He says, yeah, these mummies with guard, I'm good. This guard makes this zombie an effective 5 as well. So, so he's got strength 5, strength 5, strength 5. He says, I want no part of that. We'll be over here. If you need anything from us, do let us know. Ramble on, the new rookie gutter runner, undoubtedly back to receive. He's got the thrower back there as well. Might try to get this ball in the hands of the thrower. The thrower, of course, has sure hands. Try to pick this ball up. Did go for the shallow kick. Kicked it over in that empty right wide zone. But being a high kick, Stairway to Nuffle gets to put somebody under the ball. And it's going to be the thrower. Good catch by the thrower. Turn 9 now for Stairway to Nuffle. Back up to 4 rerolls for this game. The thrower has an MA of 7. He can certainly get back into position at mid-pitch. That's exactly what he's going to do. Harlequins B.B.F.C. definitely wanted to try to engage early. We'll see if Stairway to Nuffle retreats, falls back. That could be a way for them to stall out this game. Tried to pass the ball, or tried to pass a bomb with Bomber Dribble's not here. Well, oh my, I love you, Bomber. I love you, Bomber. Spent a reroll, failed the pass, spent the reroll. Knocked down the entire defensive line. So that knockdown, you might say, okay, he knocked him down. He didn't get any removals. He didn't get a KO. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is MA3, MA4, MA3. It costs 3 MA to stand up. So these mummies, all they can do next turn is stand up unless they rush. This zombie gets 1 point of movement unless they rush. Blitz on number 3 ghoul runner. Very good tactic to pick out these ghoul runners. They don't have regen. They only have an AV of 8, and they're also the speed players on this undead team. If you can get them off the pitch, you're in much better shape. Takes the blitz, gets a push, moves back across the line of scrimmage. Four minutes, 45 seconds left on the bonus clock for Stairway to Nuffle. That is for the entire duration of the game. You can see BB Nuts still has their entire bonus clock of 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Stairway to Nuffle now has 3 rerolls left for the rest of the game, barring any good graces from Nuffle. Shifting this offense to the left. Turn 9 now for the Harlequins. Their first turn of the second half. Stands up the mummies. Stands up the zombie. Moves them 1 space forward. Mr. Rocker Cracker, welcome to the stream. Two-die blitz on Bomber. Breaks armor. Got a stun. Bomber's going to stay on the pitch. So Bomber will be out for a turn. Spreading out the secondary. BB Nut understands the speed. He's up against 2 rushes with the number 8 zombie lineman. We'll try to apply a little bit of pressure on this ball. Turn 10 now for Stairway to Nuffle. El Nubarino, again, very contemplative as a coach. Spends the first half really trying to think about where he wants to end up. Number 10 lineman, Achilles' last stand. Will move back in front of the ball carrier. Takes a mark on the number 6 white blitzer. Marino trying to find out where he wants to go. Does he want to commit to the left wide zone early? If he swings out this way and commits early, we will almost certainly see the undead team swing in and try to encircle them and keep them stalled out right here on the side of the pitch. Ajax the Riot, welcome to the stream. Two-die blitz gets the knockdown, and now a two-die block against the white blitzer. We'll get a push out of this. So pushes the blitzer to mark number 6. We'll take the block with number 6, and this time we'll get the knockdown. 9+ breaks armor here. Decides to push him inside the center pitch. El Nubarino once again on the bonus clock now. Has the ball on his own 12-yard line. Can't get too thin with this offense. He's not the bashy team. Dodges into position with the Snotling. These Snotlings are stunty and titchy. All their dodges are, well, almost all their dodges are going to be a 2+, barring some weird interaction. All right, so he's going to cage up just inside the left wide zone. Has the ball on his own 8-yard line now. Turn 10 for the Harlequins. Harlequins, a very solid secondary ahead of this ball. Harlequins, boy, they might even be content going to overtime. I think both coaches might be content going to overtime and leaving it up to the coin toss. That certainly is not going to rely on that, of course. 3-die block on number 14 is going to be a push. These Snotlings only have an AV of 6. That means that the odds are in your favor that you will break their armor, so only getting a push can be a little frustrating. B.B. Nut applying pressure on the front of this cage. Marks both players on the front of the cage now. So lots of marks. He's still going to keep. Well, I stand corrected. He is going to move in one of the ghouls at least. But with all these marks, so long as he still has somebody in the secondary, this is forcing El Nubarino to roll dice that he just doesn't want to roll. And he'll whittle down those rerolls and be in worse shape, right? That's sort of a standard Blood Bowl tactic. Try to control those rerolls. Turn 11 now for Stairway to Nuffle. 2-die block on number 8 with the number 6 Skaven player. Gets a POW out of this. Breaks armor here. Gets a stun. Still 11v11 on the pitch. Two-die block on the Frenzy Blitz. Gets a POW. Ooh. Gets the knockdown and a stun out of it. Has to follow up due to Frenzy. Frenzy requires you to follow up on a block. I do like how they added the default cheerleaders now. I think that's great. Holy, what? Is that a hand? That's just a hand in a pot. Of course it is. I'm pretty sure I've seen that at my doctor's office before. 39 seconds left on the clock for Stairway to Nuffle. Looked like they were going to give up the touchdown in the first half of the game, and they were able to pull it off. They had solid positioning. The die rolls went in their favor when it came time for the Harlequins to roll some dice. And Stairway to Nuffle was able to pull it off and stop the score. Now they're in a position to win this game, but they've got 6 turns they need to get through. 2-die block on number 9. We are back on the bonus clock. Breaks armor. Gets a stun out of this. So the problem with this bonus clock here, as you can see, again, B.B. Nut has not dipped into it at all. El Nubarino down to 3 minutes 20 seconds. If this sort of pattern is going to hold true and we go to overtime, El Nubarino is going to find himself with not enough time in his turns to make his decisions. Failed dodge. I don't know why I find when it's just a failed dodge and they fall over. I find that so funny. Failed dodge will be a turnover. Turn 11 now for B.B. Nut. Gets a 3-die block. Doing a real great job at setting up and identifying these 3-die blocks. Granted, we're talking about a Snotling here, so it's almost guaranteed to be a 3-die block. But still, he's been doing a great job of identifying the 3-die blocks in this game and taking advantage of it. Gets the removal here. We now have a 1-man player advantage for the Harlequins. 2-die block on number 5. Gets the POW here. Will almost certainly follow up. Indeed he does. Gets a stun and now has a mark on the ball. Rushes into position, going for the 2-die blitz. Oh, what do you do? It spends the reroll, but only gets a push out of it. Had a push on the first reroll, on the first roll, spends the reroll, gets a push. I think that was the right call. Just didn't work out. Follows up to keep the mark on the thrower. Three die block gets number 14. It's going to be a push with any one of those results, so it didn't matter which one he picked. Miss Blitzkrieg said, I would use the wrestle, not worth the reroll. Fair enough, yeah. That Ghoul Runner does have wrestle. It means on a both down result, you can elect to use the wrestle skill. Both players go down. It's not a turnover. It's not an armor break. That would have knocked the ball loose. Turn 12 now for Stairway to Nuffle. Just like that, 40 minutes down in this turn. Remember, each turn is only 2 minutes. When you're watching the game, it can seem like an eternity. But boy, let me tell you, when you're playing the game, it seems like 20 seconds. Two die block on that Ghoul Runner that went in on the ball carrier. This could be a knockdown here. But was deciding whether it should be the push or the knockdown due to wrestle. Took the knockdown anyway, wrestled to the ground. I think that's all right. .34 seconds left on the clock here. Two die blitz with the Rat Ogre gets a POW out of this. Breaks armor. There's the injury. 10-10 on the pitch now. Passes the ball into the hands of the new Ramble On. Did it as a quick pass instead of a handoff. Looks like he's going for trying to play a little bit of a strategic game. Knows he's got a long way to go until the finals. So picks up a point of SPP. Takes off through the gap at center pitch. Had a hole through center pitch. Took off here, but how does he keep the player safe? Takes a whole bunch of marks. That's how. He's taking a mark on number 7. Trying to pass with Bomber Dribble Snot here. Spent the reroll. Got through the loner. Oh, no, he didn't get through the loner roll. I was like, wow, again? Didn't get through the loner roll. That'll be the end of the turn. Turn 12. Final turn of the third quarter coming up. The Harlequins now on defense, trying to stop this score or at least tie this ball game. Elder Marino looked at the position of the board. 2 dodges. Each 3+ works out. 2 die block. Got the POW on the Gutter Runner. Great blitz by BB Nut here. Two 3+ dodges worked out for the 2 die blitz and got the POW. Great turn for the Harlequins. The fourth quarter of this game begins. Turn 13 for Stairway to Nuffle. 3 bad guys marking the ball right now. And El Numerino might be thinking to himself, boy, wouldn't it be great if I had the original ramble on right now. Stairway to Nuffle, real critical turn here. How much of your turn do you dedicate to trying to recover this ball, and how much do you dedicate to trying to have some semblance of a defense in case you lose possession of the ball? .48 seconds left on the clock. 2 minutes, 11 seconds left on the bonus clock. 2 rerolls left for Stairway to Nuffle for the duration of the game. The winner of this game advances to face a Kind Sirs, Kind Peacocks. They're an Imperial Nobility team in round 2. Rat Ogre block gets a push. 2-die follow-up. Gets the knockdown here. 8+ breaks armor. No armor break. Stairway to Nuffle once again on the bonus clock. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Just to mark number 8. Doesn't want another player getting in the scrum. Here's the blitz. Rush blitz into an uphill blitz. It's going to be a push result. Pushes onto the ball. We'll see where this ball bounces. Right into the hands of the number 7 white blitzer. Thank you very much. Fails the 3+ dodge with the Goblin. 3+ dodge thanks to that tackle skill. Can't use the dodge. Can't use his free dodge reroll. Spent the team reroll though on the dodge. Felt it was very important to get that Goblin in position. Failed the 3+ again. Now Stairway to Nuffle down to 1 reroll for the game. Turn 13 for the Harlequins. They now have possession on their 8-yard line. And they're going to blitz with the ball carrier. They get a push out of this. That frees up the ball carrier to move. Spent 1 point of movement on that block. When you blitz, it's basically a move and a block all in one turn. But it costs one MA to actually take the block. So now the white blitzer down to 5 points of movement remaining. There he goes. Going to run right down that right sideline. Now on the opposing 4-yard line. Takes a second block for the takes a second mark here for the assist against number 5. Gets a POW out of this. Wow. Wow. Broke armor got a great stun. Now a POW with the mummy. 7+ breaks armor with mighty blow. Gets a push against the ocean. The number 14 Snotling with the number 4 mummy. KO's Bomber, Dribble Snot, the star player, off the pitch and perhaps out of the game. Well done by BB Nut. Turn 14 for Stairway to Nuffle. 3 turns left in this game. Unless the game ends in a draw, then we're going to overtime. Stairway to Nuffle really needs to make something happen here. Try to break away with the ball with that gutter runner. But a couple of successful dodges, successful 3+ dodges into a pal. Was able to not break away ball carrier. El Nubarino responded by taking a blitz, pushed onto the ball, hoping for a favorable bounce, but it was not. It bounced into the hands of number 7. Two rushes to take a mark on the ball carrier with the number 10 Goblin, Achilles' last stand. And this may indeed be the last stand of this team. Takes a mark on number 3. Wow, good 3+ dodge. Takes a mark on the ball carrier. 2 marks on the ball carrier now. Ball carrier does have the guard skills, so the number 8 lineman is getting an assist right now. Not that he needs it. 2-die blitz. Oh, both down results not gonna cut it. That'll be a both standing result unless he spends his final re-roll. He's just gonna let it rock. He said not worth the re-roll. Once again, back on the bonus clock. Stands up number 3. Keeps number 3 back behind the ball. Number 3 is going to be a scoring threat if he can recover the ball. Finally fails this animal savagery roll. And the rat ogre in the left wide zone is going to stare off into space. Not only does he lose his action, he's lost his tackle zones. That frees up number 11. 40 seconds left on the bonus clock for Stairway to Nuffle. All these dodges are a 2+. Finally failed one with a I was going to call it a squig. It's definitely not a squig. Snotling. But thankfully for El Nubarino anyway, Snotling stays on the pitch, is stunned. Might actually be out of the game, though, with only 2 turns remaining. Harlequins takes another mark on number 9. Setting up a place for this ball carrier to go after the blitz. Got the pal. Will follow up. Breaks armor. Wow! Couldn't ask for anything more. That's another removal, 2-man player advantage for the Harlequins, but perhaps more importantly, one of the threatening players just off the pitch. This ball is going to advance all the way to the 16-yard line. R.I.P. Great removal. Turn 15 for Stairway to Nuffle. Now they've got to make something big happen. Look at BB Nuts positioning. Tackle zones for days. If El Nubarino has never prayed to Nuffle, they might want to think about doing it now. Turn 15. Just 32 seconds left on the bonus clock for this team and 1 re-roll remaining. They've got to make something happen on this turn. Rushes over to the left. Wonder what the plan is here. Fails the dodge with the rat ogre. Oh no, he's gonna have to spend the reroll, but he has to get through Loner. got through Loner, but then failed the 50-50 dodge. That's a turnover, turn 15 for the Harlequins. They can park this ball right outside the end zone. There they go. And I don't think anybody's left for Stairway to Nuffle to get at this ball. Nope. Nope. That'll do it. Stairway, or the Harlequins are going to win this game 1-0. They will advance to round 2. 1 game down. 6 to go on the road to becoming league champion. What a well-played game by both coaches. This was a lot of fun. And remember, these are the top 11 teams this season. We've had 3 open competitions. This is our 4th and final competition, the Invitational. The top 11 teams all season long have qualified for this competition. These games are all going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. A kind sir says, welcome to the stream. It says, I have to beat Nutter. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. 3-day block on number 2. Gets a foul here. Looking for SPP at this point. There's a lot of games to go for the Harlequins. Oh, just to teach you a lesson, says get out of here. A successful foul gets the removal. Turn 16 for Stairway to Nuffle. Nobody can get there. Just to rub it in. He says, I'm the bashy team. Don't you forget it. Just about 1:15 left in this ball game. Frenzy follow-up gets a push on number 3. El Numerino doing his duty, trying to just put the hurt on this Harlequins team for future coaches. Looks like might be trying to set up to take out number 5. Fails to dodge. That'll be it. Turn 16. For the Harlequins, they'll walk this ball in and win this game. They do have 2 rerolls left. I don't know if they want to risk anything. We'll see. He is going to risk it. Going for a block here. 3-die block. That'll be fine. To be clear, the odds are... It's certainly the quote-unquote right call to take these blocks, I would think. But I am very risk-averse. Breaks armor, but gets no cast points out of that. And there's the score. 1-0. The Harlequins are going to win this ball game. Very well played game. Congratulations to BB Nut. They will be advancing to round 2. A well-deserved victory dance. Wow, what a game that was. Fantastic game. That was a ton of fun to play, and I'm excited to watch the rest of these games as well. Holy smokes. We'll see if... Oh, no. I wish they would just let me see the stats at the end of the game. All right. There's a bug in my software. It doesn't actually show up. It's like the end of the season. I'll fix it next season. But that 5th place bracket winner, that is the Harlequins B.B.F.C. So they'll be facing a Kind Sirs, Kind Peacocks in round 2 of this competition. Alphitis Australis, as we mentioned in the pregame, will be awarded a bye. Richard Cranium will not be able to participate in this competition. So I want to be like Doug. will be eliminated in round 2. So round 3 will be Alphelios Australis facing the winner of the Kind Peacocks versus the Harlequins B.B.F.C. And then in round 4, once again, we've got Chimes, Nevagana, and Orc team facing off against Dead Fred's Real American Heroes, a Dark Elf team. We have S Beavers, the Dead Poets, and Undead team facing off against the round 3 winner. And then in the winner's bracket, we have none other than current league champion Doug the Minotaur and their White Skull Windbreakers and Orc team facing off against previous league champion Nick Satan and Cenozoic Park, a Lizard team. And then we've got JD Whitey's Forest of Flames in the semifinals, a Wood Elf team facing off against the round 5 winner. Lots of games of Blood Bowl to go in this competition. We're going to crown a league champion at the end of it. I hope you'll hang out with us and watch. All these games are going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm looking forward to each and every one of them. And every single one of these games will be streamed as well. Round 2 is going to begin next. It's going to begin, in fact, right after this stream. And, well, let me rephrase. The coaches will begin scheduling right after this stream. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch our previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so much fun. There's so much to do. There's so many choices to make. And look, you can have a sausage on your armor. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, via the Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until round 2, everybody, take care and enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. Oh, and you know what? By the way, thank you very much to El Nubarino for participating this season. Always fun to watch El Nubarino play. A fantastic coach, as you witness here tonight. Has been in 3 of our 4 Blood Bowls in total. So a very good coach. Hasn't shied away from trying out different teams. Always fun to watch El Nubarino play. I hope El Nubarino will be back out for season 5. Can't wait to see what team they pick up. Thank you very much for participating. And that goes for all coaches, everyone who's been eliminated as well. We had 27 teams, I think, this season, and it's been a blast. And I appreciate each and every one of the coaches that have played, everyone that's come out to watch or help out or just cheer for their favorite team. I absolutely love this game and just love sharing it with everyone. So thanks again for hanging out with us. We'll see you back here for round 2. Take care.